Yo, what's good? This is the Press Release Podcast. I'm your host, Pro Bowl wide receiver Allen Robinson, here with my co-host, Super Bowl champion Prince Amukamara. We'll be having a guest today by the name of David Bell, Big Ten Receiver of the Year. Excited to talk to him as well. But we were just talking before the camera started rolling, and we're in Indianapolis right now at the NFL Combine. Saturday of the week. To me, this is the best day of the week. Why? Because the receivers work out. And I feel like
Are they the last ones?
No, they're
Who's
not.
last- who's
They're
last
not. I
one?
believe the O-line
O-line.
is last. They say them for Sunday.
Yeah.
But you and I were talking, and we can kind of I'll line up a little bit. So we're gonna talk to David Bell today. We'll also talk combine. We'll talk free agency, franchise tag, and just kind of where everything is at right now in the NFL offseason. But we'll dive right into the combine. So we were talking about just how the workouts go and stuff like that. But I want to dial it back just a little bit. For you and your combine process, obviously you end up going in the first round. But what was that process like, even as far as when you declared? Did you leave Nebraska early?
No. I left as a senior.
You left as a senior.
Yeah,
I left early. And I'll kind of speak to I'll speak to my process a little bit after. But what was your prep like when it came to training and stuff like that? Like, did you train? Where'd you train at?
Yeah, so even before the combine, I mean, there was a senior bowl. And so that's where most seniors go. And I felt like I didn't have to go to the senior bowl because the person I was competing with was Patrick Peterson. So Patrick came out as a junior, which means he wasn't going to the senior bowl. So if he wasn't going to be there, I didn't have to be there.
How many DBs went in the first round of your class?
Ooh, DB. I want to say about 4 or 5. I mean, the guys that come out of the guys that are on top of my head was Jimmy Smith,
Jimmy Smith. He was in your class.
Pat P and me. And I want to maybe Brandon Harris. He went to Miami. I want to say, but yeah.
And what did you like going into your training? Was it a focal point, or what was the main focus of your approach? Because obviously throughout the process of training for the combine, you have things that you want to work on and things that are like, I don't want to say red flags, but things that you want to prove the doubters,
Right.
the executives, management wrong on misconceptions that they may have about you, your personality, or your game. What were some of those things for you?
Yeah. So my things I want to focus on was I want to run fast. Obviously, DBs, you have to run fast. And so I wanted to have a fast 40. I wanted to show that I had some strength in the in by doing the bench press as much as I can. So 225. And then also because I had no picks my senior year, but I had 5 picks my junior year. So when scouts see that, it's like, okay, ball skills might be questionable. So I wanted to make
Do you
sure.
think your ball skills was questionable? No, I'm just asking. Do you think your ball skills is questionable?
No, and my thing for that is I'm a press guy, and so you're gonna get
Your back is turned a lot.
exactly.
Quarterback.
So you're gonna get first of all you're gonna get less balls thrown at you. Number one, if you're a great press corner, and then number two, the reaction time they're like PVUs because you're press. The only time you can maybe catch a clean pick is on a deep ball, and
You
then
got some press bill.
yeah you could do that.
I feel like Richard Sherman kind of made the press bill
100%,
famous.
and he played it well.
That was something that he did really well. So ball skills was
Ball
something
skills, speed, and then strength, and then so I mean I'm sure there's dudes get coached up for the interviews that you have with the teams, but
I mean, strength. You kind of a bigger corner though. I used to always say that. Like if I saw you walking down the street, I would think you was running back.
100%.
But you played running back,
Yeah, I
right?
played running back in high school. But another thing that guys get coached up on because some guys might have character issues is like those interview questions and stuff like how are you going to phrase this because they do a whole FBI type background check on you, and so I didn't really have any of that.
And I want to break that down a little bit when you talk about the interview process and stuff. So how it is, and I was talking to somebody yesterday, just kind of explaining to them what the combine is like. You might have a guy who's going to meet with all 32 teams at the time that he's in the combine.
Right.
They have these formal meetings where every team has a room set up where they have typically a position coach, a coordinator, the head coach, general manager, sometimes even owner. But throughout these meetings, they ask you a ton of different questions, personality questions. I feel like they eased up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
even seeing like some of the
because they were
cameras and
tripping.
stuff in rooms, I feel like I've seen a lot of laughter. It's been a lot different.
Well, I think
But
you have a lot of young
coaches,
players,
younger
coaches, yeah, that are more likable, just more playful.
but not to mention though, they also have the psychological testing
Hmm.
as well, as far as like the mental aspect.
That's not the Wonder League.
That's the Wonder League, but there's also other tests as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I want to say when I was at the combine, I feel like we did like 3 tests.
Wow, we
Like
just had the Wonder League.
the Wonder League was one of them, but then there also were some other kind of personality like tests that we also took.
How would you describe the Wonder League? Is it more like riddles? Is it like a SAT? What would you say? It has a mixture of just different.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really overthink that or really care too
See,
much.
and that's the thing. I was trying to score. I scored high on that. I got a great score on that.
And that's probably why you went to the Giants. I'm saying Tom Coughlin,
Right.
he's a detailed, smarts kind of guy.
Right.
So I mean, it makes sense. But in your meetings, did they tell you what they like questioned about your game or about you at all with some of the teams that you met with? And
Not really, man. I didn't really have to go on the board. Like I said, my interview process was real chill. I mean, there was one off the wall question. Did you get an off the wall question?
I didn't.
There was one off the wall question, and I probably brought it on myself. So, um, who was that? Todd Haley, I think. Is his name?
Yeah, he's a
He,
he's
an
an
OC.
offensive guy.
Yeah,
He's an offensive coordinator for the Steelers.
Well, he was a head coach for the Chiefs.
Mm.
And I remember he had asked me, what the heck did he ask me? He had asked me, so like, do you have a girlfriend or whatever? And I said, sure, I never had a girlfriend. And he said, well, did you have a boyfriend? I was just like, yo. I said no. But that was the only one. And I guess he was, and maybe that was him trying to line up the mood and stuff like that. But you've heard dudes get asked questions about their
Family members,
man.
yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, it's like I said, they've eased up a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard about dudes where they've asked questions about parents,
Yeah.
maybe a parent who have been incarcerated.
Yes.
They asked about people's moms. So it's a lot of.
My favorite though is when they said Coughlin was right. Who was the AC? I think had said Eric Coughlin had said it. Coughlin sat him in the middle. Coughlin's looking at him. Coaches are around him, and Coughlin said, "Hey, they're gonna ask you questions. I want you to answer them and look at me." And dudes was asking questions, and AC was just looking.
I mean, that's kind of how Coughlin. I specifically remember meeting with the Giants as well, and Tom Coughlin, he asked me. He said he asked me if I was a hard worker, and just kind of like he put on a low light, probably about 5-minute low light
low light clip
of me on the backside of run plays.
Before he asked you if you were a hard worker, or after he asked you?
After, and he said I've talked to your, he said I've talked to your coaches. Your coaches said you're a hard worker, but he said I don't see that. And then he started going to the low lines, and he's asking like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" And I remember leaving the combine. I got to my house because again, you go through the process, so it's kind of it's a long process in time because I trained in Tampa, and I want to get into kind of your training as well, but I trained in Tampa. So training in Tampa, I was down there for about a month and a half, 6 weeks or so.
Right.
So then I go straight to the combine. Obviously, it's early morning, drug testing, a lot of psychological testing, meeting with teams. You're up early. Staying up till late at night, meeting with teams and stuff like that. So I remember getting home to Detroit, and the first thing I told my pops, I said, I know where I'm not going. That's the Giants. I said, I ain't going to the Giants.
I didn't even meet with them.
Really?
Yes.
But some teams do that because that goes to the other teams in the league as far as who's meeting who.
They want to show their card.
And I mean, the whole NFL is a big poker game, if you will, when it comes to drafting, when it comes to free agency. And different things like that. But yeah, I didn't have. But other than that, and honestly, one of my best meetings was Jacksonville.
Oh,
but Jacksonville was picking, and at this point in time, I kind of had my mind kind of sold that I would go in the first round. Well, not sold, but I kind of was.
That's why I thought I came out your junior. If you would have stayed senior year,
no. I mean, I didn't even. I don't know what would have happened if I stayed my senior.
Yeah,
but I came out my junior year. Jacksonville was one of the teams that I met with that I felt really, really good about just as far as like the connection and stuff like that. But they were picking high in the first round.
Okay.
And I didn't know if I would be there in the second round or not. And sure enough, they ended up trading back into the second round and drafting me. But I had a real good.
So you were the first pick.
Second, they drafted Marquise Lee early second round.
Lee.
Yeah, Marquise Lee went 33 or 34.
Gotcha.
And it's funny, I bumped into a scout last night with the Seahawks. And he was like, yeah, man, I remember when you came out and different things like that. I said, yeah, and y'all drafted Paul Richardson.
Yeah.
And then he burst out laughing. But yeah, I remember they drafted.
Oh, so you like Amon St. Brown? You remember everyone who's
yeah.
But it's easy remembering what everyone receiver from your class.
Yeah, I mean, we had a deep class. You know, we had a pretty deep class. Yeah, so my process, I had no idea that I was gonna come out. So the conversation that I had with Bill O'Brien and my family, because I didn't have anybody kind of nudging me in a direction to come out. I had a phenomenal junior year, and but something was telling me, and I just had a feeling. I don't know, man. I was really like indifferent.
Right.
The conversation was for me to come back, but I'm like, I don't really know if that's the right thing. And then I'll never forget it. Me and my boys were in the car going to a New Year's Eve party. We're lit. It's New Year's Eve. No, I'm back in Detroit at this time because we had a bowl band, so we can go to bowl. So I'm back in Detroit. It's New Year's Eve. I'm with my two homies. We're kind of lit. We were kind of party hopping, so we was going from one party to the next. Music blasting. I'm in the car. I see an 814 number call, and I told my boy, I'm like, turn the music down. And sure enough, it was Bill O'Brien, and he said he was taking the Houston, Texas job. So I'm like, now he's explaining. It's probably 11:30 or so at night. He's explaining to me he's going to take the Houston Texans job. He's like, Penn State is going to get a good coach, and I'm just kind of more so listening.
11:30 at night,
yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, yep.
Shout out to Bill.
Yeah, I'm more so. So I'm just listening, and he was like, I wanted to let you know first before you heard from anybody else or media or anything that I'm going to take the Houston Texans job. So I'm more so listening. So then when I get off the phone, I mean, my homies can kind of see my demeanor at this point in time. It's, relatively serious, you know what I'm saying, as far as the conversation that me and OB are having. So then, like, as soon as we hung up the phone, they like, you know what I'm saying, they're like, who was it? Like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm going to the league. And then the music went back up. We got to when we was going, man. We had a heck of a night. We turned up even more. But that's kind of how that came about. Was I had no idea until New Year's Eve, and then I want to say January 5th or 6th, I was in Tampa training. But I was enrolled and supposed to go and take class in the spring and everything.
And Franklin was that coach that came?
Yeah, Franklin was the coach that came. Ooh. And I remember it was New Year's Eve, the day after. Go ahead. The day after New Year, so January 2nd. Is when I realized that, like the whole process, like that, it was changed.
You had no agent.
I did.
When'd you get the agent?
I knew who I was signed with when I was signed and stuff like that. So I had met with one.
So that's the thing. He wasn't saying you should do. You said you weren't getting pushed.
Nah, he was just kind of letting me know, like, man, whatever you want to do. Okay. Whatever you want to do. It was no rush. It was nobody. And again, Penn State hadn't had a receiver or anything come out early in quite some time. So I was the first person to leave school early in a while. So, but our guest just got here, so we're gonna take a little intermission. I'm gonna have him come sit down and we're gonna introduce him. All right, so we back. It's the press release. I told y'all we had a guest. Here's my guy, David Bell, Big Ten Receiver of the Year. Man, it's always an honor and pleasure when I have another Big Ten guy on the couch with us, man. Obviously, Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue. He's also another guy who won the Big Ten Receiver of the Year award. That I think that's a pretty
big. What Ohio State puts out.
Yeah. So, what's good, man?
Nothing much, man. I appreciate you
for sure.
Thanks for having me on your podcast. Sit down and
for sure
see what y'all got to talk about.
Big Ten Receiver of the Year, Indiana native, Indianapolis. Also, and this is what I like about David, and to me, what translates a lot is the basketball background.
True. I did not know that part. Why you?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. All right.
Do you got? I mean, listen. It's two people on the couch I
Yeah,
know that got basketball
I play
background.
basketball
I don't know
too,
if you're the third
but
or not.
no, I play basketball too.
Like a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean I was 3-state champion in Arizona.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. Word.
But I was a point guard, only went left.
You can hoop like that?
Come on, man.
Only one left.
Only one left. All I have is defense. Now though,
So who'd you play? You played like Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly was averaging like 40 in high school.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like comp as
Now,
far as his skill. You know what I'm saying? We ain't see that. I mean, I did. I'm
I'm more of a
Kyle Lowry.
no, Drew Holiday.
Okay. I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see
Drew
that.
Holiday.
Who would you describe your hoop game like?
I'm saying Kyrie.
No, I ain't saying Kyrie. I was more like a slasher, like a Jimmy Butler.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
And you bouncy.
Yeah, I can get up there.
I'm trying to think.
Who's
I
your
like,
man? Like,
He's bouncy.
I would say my game is between like I'll probably say like Anthony Edwards.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, I would say like Ant-Man.
You was talking crazy like him too?
About very similar in size.
No, I'm talking crazy.
Yeah, high school for sure. For sure. I listen. One thing that I do, I put the ball in the rim for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
In the rim, not in the hoop.
I was gonna score for sure.
In the rim.
I took pride in that. You know, I grew up, but again, I talk to a lot of people, man, and I feel like now it's one of those things. I had a coach who always said that he liked recruiting basketball, football players rather than track football players. And I say that, man, because a lot of the guys that I know, man, from Alshon Jeffrey to Michael Crabtree, myself, you, I think it's Devontae Adams. I think it's a great translation to that and just kind of being able to play in short area quickness. And I think that translated a lot for me when it came to football. I mean, how do you feel about your game and kind of like where and kind of how basketball, I want to say, because I mean, I look at myself, I was a basketball player that ended up playing football.
Yeah. That's how I was.
Yeah. And like even for me, that's kind of why I was a smaller recruit when it came to football because I never went to I didn't do like Spark camps. I didn't do a lot of football camps. I was playing AAU. I was on the AAU circuit. I mean, I had hoop dreams until the door was damn near completely shut.
Yeah.
From hooping.
It's kind of a similar story for me. I was hooping since I was 3, so I always said that was my first love. And I was in a mix of playing basketball and football. But what translates for me, probably jump balls.
Yeah.
As far as boxing out to go get a rebound, and then you throw that joint down.
And I mean, but you have
feel
some,
like when you go get it.
And to your, you know what I'm saying, your run after catch, you know what I'm saying? It's a certain kind of movement that I feel like hoopers have. You know what I'm saying?
More
to be able,
fluid.
it's more fluid to be able to release it.
Sudden.
That suddenness too. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Shout out to the track guys out there. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's a certain kind of game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they a little bit more rough around the edges.
True.
When
Listen,
it
like
comes to the
a
craftiness of it.
Tyreek Hill, Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah.
I would say, don't say Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee was a hooper.
Yeah, he was Hoover. But like those dudes, I mean, you can't teach speed. Those dudes gonna roll. But
And even those guys,
I thought you could cover that.
that's a different
it is a
kind
different.
of.
That's Olympic speed. That's
Yeah,
World
Olympic
Cup speed.
speed.
Yeah,
There's not too many people that fit in that.
True. But what I'm saying is, as a DB, not too worried about that. But now the Keenans, the Devontaes, it's like
Because you said those are the guys that gave you power.
yes, because I mean those fast guys, they're working on their games now, but they're just gonna speed release, like boom, just go. All right, come on, get hands on. You may get a step in front of me or not, but those like you guys, I might get lost in the sauce, and so I might get no hands, and you open immediately.
I remember training camps. What I hit you with, it was we called it a bazooka, corner post. Yeah, nasty. Hey, listen. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go too deep in the archives. You know, just know that I know that he know that I know.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Understood don't gotta be explained.
So when you pulled up, though, we were talking about the combine and the combine process.
Yeah.
What was that process like for you? Because I know for myself, obviously, stepping into the combine, it was speed questions, and I mean, even to when I got to the league, it was still the questions of that. I didn't feel like I kind of silenced those critics until my second season. But
So that's
what was
16.
yeah, which I lived for that moment. But we'll talk about that. But stepping into the combine, what was that like for you as far as training? Just kind of let us know like where'd you train at, and what were some of the things that you kind of like focused on or wanted to, I guess, silence the critics a little bit when you got to the combine?
So where I trained at was out at House of Athletes out in
Oh, HOA, yeah.
in Florida with Brandon Marshall.
Okay.
So it was a good combine prep. You know, I had a lot of good guys that I was training with. Chris Olave, I was out there with. So it was a good competition. And main thing I wanted to was the speed. I was with Mo, and he does a good job of getting guys prepared for the NFL combine, not only on the physical aspect, but the mental too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people talk about what happens on Thursday or whatever day that everybody performs on TV, but nobody talks about the 3 days before when you got to do the meetings and the medical, and it's just mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
So like they kind of prepared us to get through that so we can be able to perform on the actual day. I didn't run the way that I wanted to run, but I feel like
What'd you run?
I run a 4.6.
And but I want to talk a little bit about two things that you just said, because you talked about the mental aspect, but also what people don't understand is at the same time you're going through all this mental testing, meeting with teams, you trying to find pockets to still get your 40 starts.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to find pockets to get a little workout in for the guys who are benching just to keep your body prepped. You know, as you're going through all the different psychological testing, meeting with teams, you know, going over here, you have meetings with Adidas and Nike, and you know, it's so many different things, but you also trying to prepare yourself still to perform. But something that I want to focus a little bit on, because you talked about the 40, and a person that comes to mind, because me and Prince were talking just about something that I think goes unnoticed, and I think people are starting to look at a little bit more, is the on the field workout, the top speed in the drills, rather than just the 40.
Right.
And the person that comes to mind for me, that's the epitome of that, is Puka Nacua.
Right.
Because Puka Nacua, I don't think he ran a 40 at the combine, but he had one of the fastest speeds during the drills. And I think when you look at his game, that translates to his game
For sure.
so much, as far as his speed through the ball, through the catch point, rather than just the straight line running. Because again, I mean, Puka Nacua plays a lot faster. I don't know what he would have ran in the 40. I don't know what he did run in the 40 at his pro day, but he plays a lot faster, and you can just kind of see where the speed and that translate, rather than him just running a 40 in a straight line. I mean, Puka Nacua, I believe, was a 5th-round receiver, you know, but when you look at some of the measurables and tests and stuff, but the one number that sticks out to me that I'm like, I saw the number, I'm like, this makes total sense, was he had the fastest on the field time when he was running his routes.
Wow.
And I think that when you look at it and the analytics of it, I think people are starting to focus a little bit more on those things as well, to kind of marry that up with the 40 time and with the tape. Because I mean, you could talk to a lot of people and they'll say that they want to see the 40 kind of confirm what's on tape. But then you got a lot of guys, man, they gonna skyrocket if they run a fast time.
100%.
They gonna
Did they have
skyrocket.
those GPSs on you guys?
It was kind of just starting. When I say just starting, meaning they had it, but as I kind of, even my entire time growing through the league, I feel like that was tracked more as far as your miles per hour
Right.
as you're performing
Yeah.
and hitting those numbers. Because even like in Jacksonville, I feel like that's kind of when it started. We would get off the field. By the time when I was in Detroit, we would get off the field on Thursdays. And for guys, depending on what kind of routes you ran and stuff, you may stay after and hit the high speed numbers because you didn't hit those numbers in practice.
Yeah.
But
But
so
on a
it's
separate
constantly being tracked.
On a separate note, though, it's terrible because in Chicago they was telling me, Prince, you're not going hard enough because you're not hitting. Everyone else is hitting 22, 23. You at 19, 18.
Maybe
You're not,
you kind of made us slow down a little bit.
oh, maybe dudes wasn't getting off the line to make me run.
I mean, hey, that's
True.
that's a possibility too. And I say that though because that's what makes the game so interesting, because there's so many factors when you look at that. And I mean, for me, I was I think at the combine I ran 4.56 or 4.6. I was kind of right in that range. But again, I was when it came to just sheer running, I was such a raw. Like, I was a hooper.
I was a
You know what I'm saying? So you were.
Yeah.
Out.
4.37.
Okay. So you can roll a little bit.
It's old. It's old, man.
But anyway, so for me, I was a hoop guy, meaning like I didn't go through no spark training or anything like that. And just all around for me, I was a raw receiver. Like going prior to college, I played 2 years at receiver in high school, and those are the only times I ever played receiver.
Wow.
Like I played running back majority of my life. Until my junior senior year, I played receiver, and then I went to Penn State and played receiver as well. So the whole combine process, and all of that.
years there.
Yeah, yeah. And then once I trained down in Tampa with Sammy Watkins, and like he was a guy who was like the epitome of football guy.
Yeah.
So being around him every day and watching him when it came to 40 and all that stuff came easy to me.
Right.
Like all like the drill work, you know what I'm saying? You put somebody in front of me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna be in front of me for too long. You know what I'm saying? Rather than me just go through drills and do all this stuff. So the process, I learned a lot in that process. But I always wonder, I mean, if I had ran a faster 40, I mean, do you think it would have boosted my draft stock?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You think if I run a 4.4, I go first round?
Yep.
You think so?
As a receiver,
Same
especially
with
because you said what?
They did too. If he'd have ran 4.4, he'd have went in the first.
As a receiver, that's what they loved, and we're gonna see. Is it today? Receivers go.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see them, and like you said, we're gonna see a lot of people skyrocket. I mean, who was the dude from Texas a couple years ago went to the Chiefs on the one?
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, like I feel like that, those stuff like helped them a lot and stuff like that.
But I look at that because it's like for me, and I look at some of the receivers who was drafted in front of me. They may have run faster 40s, but they never killed in college.
Right.
So the expectation to think that they're gonna kill in the league to me was absolutely ridiculous.
Because like remember what we talked about, if you get him a good quarterback, like we said, is Puka Nacua gonna be balling like this with? I mean, I don't want to throw any quarterback on
No,
it, but
He was a basketball guy too.
He was a basketball
Oh, I
guy.
didn't know that.
He was a basketball guy.
But like, if you put him with a quarterback in I don't even know, but say some subpar quarterback, I don't know if Puka's still Puka. Like he has one of the best throwers of the football.
I mean, obviously there are a lot of variables involved in that, but to me, I think that when I look at again some of the guys who ran faster 40s and how their careers were, I mean, again, they never killed in college. You know what I'm saying? Like they never killed in college. So the
You don't have
expectation
to kill in college.
to me,
As a receiver, I feel like as a receiver, you can just have like you can look the part, you can have the best measurables, and you can have a great combine, and that's gonna help you because they think if we put him with a great quarterback, he's gonna get those numbers.
the receivers in my draft class, the guys who killed in college, killed in the league. It wasn't that many that just like, don't get me wrong, like even to the point of a person like Allen Hurns. Allen
Right.
Hurns went undrafted.
Yes.
He had a very good college career. And I say that
What
obviously
did he run? He wasn't running no.
no, he wasn't, but my whole point was there's a certain craftiness that translates to the NFL because at the end of the day, you still got to play football.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? If we was running 40s on Sundays,
Yeah, that'd be a different.
that'd be a different story.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, let's watch the tape. How do you and that's how guys get overdrafted because in this process, you have a lot of time to whereas one or two
Overdrafted.
yes. You have this process where one or two things happen. You either have workouts and meetings that confirm the tape,
Right.
or workouts and meetings that make you believe something else of the tape.
100%.
And that's when you have the guys being overdrafted in different situations where it's like they, you know what I'm saying, they kill the combine, but it's like on Sundays it's not the combine.
Right.
You know, it's football.
Right.
But
I want to know the list of receivers.
that was drafted in front of me.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins.
He was in the draft.
Sammy Watkins.
You had a loaded draft.
Odell.
Okay.
Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks. Kelvin Benjamin. Paul Richardson. Marquise Lee.
Devontae's in there.
Jordan Matthews. Devontae Adams. Cody Lattimore.
Fudge.
Then I went,
No, Keith.
and then Jarvis Landry went.
You say Keith Sleep?
Yeah. I was the 11th receiver taken. Jarvis Landry was the 12th. And we went in the first 2 rounds. That was the first 2 rounds of my draft at receiver.
Draft. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
bro.
that was loaded.
Yeah, which was the conversation of me coming out when like people I don't know, I guess people just thought I was mid because the receiver class was so deep to where I was like, like he should probably like stay in college and different things like that. But I mean, for myself, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I studied the game. I watched a lot of players, and I was even upset. I feel like I should have been because you won the Belinda call. Or he was a finalist.
Shit, the finals.
He was a finalist.
That was like second.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, man, my guy killed.
What was the boy's name that won it?
Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Jordan
Mike.
Addison. He's a roller too.
No, he is.
He is. He got
Yeah. He could go, but like in our draft class again, I mean, for me studying those guys, again, I knew what I brought to the table, and for me, I always was late to the scene based on I just think my I wasn't like a super football guy, you know. So even going into college, coming out of college, just like I wasn't a highly rated dude, but it was just people didn't know me, you know what I'm saying? And it would be funny to me because even like high school to college, I didn't go to no big camps or anything like that. I would go to like a college camp. Like I went to Penn State. I did 3 drills. They receiver coach like, we gonna offer you. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as he sees me in person, I'm a 6'3" receiver. Like, nobody can stay in front of me off the line.
6'3".
Nobody can stay in front of me off the line. He's like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna offer you. And that's kind of how it was. I would go to a camp, you know, they like, you know what I'm saying? We gonna offer you. So, and I say that because once I got to the league, and then people kind of, you know, as I'm getting people in front of me and I'm able to just kind of continue to evolve and stuff like that. Because like the big thing was like I wasn't going to be a down the field threat, you know, and I remember those things coming out for the draft and everybody saying those things. And then year 2, I led the league in yards per catch, you know, but for me, it wasn't something that was like, you know, I used that as a chip and as motivation. Like when you were talking about the Saints play earlier.
Yeah.
We on the 10-yard line, like our own. I hear the play come in the huddle. I know if I get press coverage, I got Brandon Browner on me. I know if I get press coverage, this route converts to a go. I'm in an edge split. As soon as I line up, I see all the field in front of me. I'm like, I've been waiting for this time at this moment in the league since I got drafted. We ran the goal by speed release, caught the goal. As soon as I caught it, I probably had like 50 more yards to go. I slid on Brandon Browner ass. Slid on him. And I waited for that moment. And I was so geeked to have that moment because I'm like, even my touchdown celebration, I was so hyped, bro. I waited for that moment my whole time. The folk joint.
This is what kids do it for?
Oh, hit them votes?
I thought it was this. They didn't do that.
You know what that
You ain't had those cellies when you caught, you know what I'm saying? Like when you caught picks and whatnot. But you was you know what I'm saying? You was I didn't. But you was like the epitome of a Coughlin guy. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna have this.
Even my dress, I try to dress like the man.
Yeah, like the man. You know what I'm saying? Like socks all the way pulled up. Cleats laced as tight as they can be laced.
Yeah.
The old school molded mouthpiece.
Wasn't even,
you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes gloves, sometimes no gloves. I didn't care how I looked. I was telling him I want to look like dirty and grimy. Like I don't want to look like a clean, sweet corner. Like I want you to think like, man, what's this dude on? Like this dude.
I tell the story. We played against Crabtree with the Raiders.
We don't gotta get into that.
Every time Crabtree lined up, he pointed to his cleats. And you know, old beat up Adidas. Crabtree with Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So his shit's crisp and fresh. Every time he lining up.
Yeah. I remember I was trying to talk stuff. I remember.
How'd that game go?
Huh?
I said, don't look at me.
Listen.
Don't look at me.
Listen, there was one time he was, you know, y'all receivers be doing so much. And so this is my philosophy as a corner. I can either protect you in the game or I can hurt you in the game. And I say like this, meaning if there's a run coming this way, we can still get our job done. You can let me get my fit and you can like still block me. And I'll say, hey, like I would move a receiver, like, hey, like there's a power.
Your brother-in-law.
I'm trying to keep the dude healthy. But when Crabtree was like, if you talking, I'm gonna act like no one's coming, and boom, you get rolled up on. So there's one time Crabtree was blocking so hard, so I try to like sling him out. I almost got his chain. I almost got his chain. So then from that point on, he was like, I got so from that point on, you start calling my shoes Tim's. Oh, you got Tim's on. Like you playing with Tim's on. And he was doing a lot.
Was he working out though? Was he, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying you still didn't let me know how the game.
The game, he didn't have 100 on me.
Okay.
And he didn't score a tub on me.
Yeah, listen, I'll say this.
But he scored a tub that game.
Crab played well.
Look at this.
I'm saying he had a good game. You feel me?
He did have a good game.
Respectfully, I ain't say it was all on you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my dog Crab, him and Coop had a solid game and they smacked us. They smacked. Yeah, they did smack us.
Offense could score. Back to you, man. Yeah.
And you were saying
Get back to
you were saying in your prime you'll lock up David.
So
See, you're not too familiar with David.
that,
Game.
and that's what I was gonna
See,
say. So
you're
like,
not too
I feel
familiar
like,
with David Game
I feel like ignorance is
because
is-
David is one of them dudes that you a guy who like you fear the dudes who can go up top and who are good at the line.
No, I know when you said that.
And that's his game. You know what I'm saying? That's his game.
So I always say ignorance is speaking without knowledge. So yeah, I'm not gonna be ignorant right now.
I feel like me and David have very similar games.
Got you. All right, well then, shoot.
What were your numbers, David, in college again? Your freshman year?
Freshman year, I know I had 1,000.
Yeah. Numbers were crazy.
Crazy catches.
How did you get to Purdue?
You from here?
Yeah, I'm from here, but
Why not Indiana? Oh, he wasn't there yet. Signetti?
no, Cincinnati wasn't there yet. How'd I get to Purdue? So RIP, my homie Rondell Moore, I seen what they did with him when I was in high school. When he was like consensus All-American his freshman year. So I'm thinking like, if I go there, I know I can get like 7 or 8 targets. That's the only thing I need to really do my thing.
You said you don't even need that
I
much
don't
for all
need
you
that
want.
much, man. Just give me like 7 or 8.
Per game.
Yeah, per game. Just give me like 7 or 8 targets because he was getting like 15, 16.
But he was getting a lot of like
Just
gadgets,
sweeps,
yeah.
But I'm like, you throw it to me 7 or 8 times, I can make it shake. But he ended up getting hurt.
I think this your junior year. You say you had 1,286 yards,
Yeah.
6 touchdowns.
Yeah, junior.
Was that junior year?
And you came out early?
Yeah. Okay. Another guy who came out early.
So that's kind of what I just seen with how they use him, implemented him into the offense. And it was a air raid. So we threw like about 50, 60
Coach
times.
Brown, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach
Yeah.
Brown, man. I think he's a phenomenal coach.
Where's he at now? He's not
Louisville.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Louisville.
So that was kind of, that was the only Big Ten school that was throwing a rock like that.
Okay. What other offers did you have?
Kind of all the Big Ten.
Okay.
Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska.
It shows Purdue over Ohio State. That's what's up. I respect it. But
I want to dive into a little bit of free agency.
because this is the free agency time here, obviously we saw George Pickens got tagged.
Which you hate.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
though.
why you hate the franchise?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah, I got tagged once. Which we were talking off the camera just as far as my luck with free agency, but because you have some good luck and you know it's some bad luck too. But George Pickens has been tagged. Kyle Pitts has been tagged. 2 other names that are potential tag candidates before the deadline.
Is Pitts tagged at a tight end or receiver?
Tight end, I believe. Tight end. But Kenneth Walker is a potential franchise tag guy for the Seattle Seahawks, and Breece Hall for the Jets. Ironically, I've been seeing his name thrown around as a potential franchise tag candidate. But I don't know. I feel like he's had like a up and down. When I say not up and down career for himself, but up and down as far as the Jets.
Right.
You know, like I haven't really heard any conversation of the Jets possibly, you know, paying him or anything like that. So I was surprised to see that he was franchise tag, but they also chose not to trade him around the trade deadline. But yeah, man, let's talk about the franchise tag. So my thing with the franchise tag is a person like George Pickens, especially today, with where the cap has risen to, if he's a free agent in the open market, what would you?
Who are you talking about?
George Pickens.
Top dollar.
What are the ranges in an open market in a year like this that a player like that could get?
It's hard.
Let's say let's
It's hard to
just-
say. It's like 35 plus.
Let's just say hypothetically on the high end, hypothetically on the low end.
45 on the high, 40 to 45 minutes.
Who's getting that right now?
Jamar.
Jamar's getting 40.
Yeah, he's
40.
getting 40. He's getting 40.
Oh,
But I
that's
mean,
the
again, he's getting 40 in a year where, again, now the salary cap has gone up.
Yeah.
However, it's gone up.
Jamar wasn't a free agent.
He also wasn't a
So
free
it's
agent.
different. I would say anywhere from 38 to 45.
So anywhere from 38 to 45.
Right.
He's at 27 million on the franchise tag. Obviously, we have to factor in the thought of injury,
Yeah.
which is the biggest thing for me. Because if he might sign a 5-year deal at the numbers that we just talked about with 3 years guaranteed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So you're comparing 27 million guaranteed
To a potential
100.
when you're talking guarantees to a potential maybe 100, 115 guaranteed.
His tag will be a little bit more than 27 though.
I came in at his tag came in at 20. I think it was 27.3.
They official?
Yeah. 27.3, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the transition number. I
Yeah.
thought he'd be at 30.
But my thing is this with the franchise tag, and you let me know if I'm wrong because you know all the rules. Can't you sign the franchise tag? Once you sign it, right, you're getting your bread. Can they still negotiate or no?
Yeah.
They
Still
They
negotiate.
can still negotiate. Okay.
Yeah.
You come in first day. I have a hang now. I'm not.
And I feel like these things have started to evolve a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen,
Versus Le'Veon Bell, he sat out the whole year.
This is-
without bread.
but this is the most like player empowerment kind of that it has been as far as like where you can have a hold in. You know, where you come Terry McLaurin last year.
yeah.
You know, I think he held out for a little bit, but then he showed up and he had the hamstring and so on and so forth. But I mean, that kind of just started being a factor. But when we were talking about like my situation, my first time reaching free agency, I tore my ACL, third play of the season.
Yeah.
And then the second time I hit free agency was the only year
Third place season against Indiana.
against no, it was in Houston. It was in Houston. And then my second time around reaching free agency was I got franchise tagged that year, but correct me if I'm wrong, was that the only year where the salary cap went down?
And since I was around, yeah.
Only year in NFL history.
Oh.
Or I want to say it may have been some other random time that it may have been like when free agency first kind of started. So you're talking like early 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like where the salary cap
Was
went
it
down.
COVID season?
COVID season.
That was the year before you became a free agent?
COVID season was the year like where I was a free agent. So that season
Yeah.
we didn't have fans and stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
So the salary cap went down. Went down. We didn't have fans. That's when they were postponing and doing a lot of stuff with the games. So the salary cap went down.
Was you happy
Everybody
that
money
year?
tight.
You killed that year, didn't
Yeah, I
you?
had
Yeah.
103 catches for like 1250, I think, like 7 or 8 touchdowns. Then I
Similar
got
to George Pickens.
yeah. Then I got franchise tag, and then the rest is history. But that's why, and I don't like the franchise tag. We've seen Dak Prescott. He got franchise tag. I think he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Granted, he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I mean, breaking your ankle as a skill position, you know what I'm saying, to a receiver or somebody, man, that could be detrimental. So being able to strike while the iron is hot in these different situations.
And you work so hard to get there to have to wait again.
I mean, you played your contract out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the contract that I negotiated. I played it out. So now being able to get franchise tag, and also I think to me, yes, it was the money factor, but it also was the overall trajectory in which and how that changes in the sense of I signed a 3-year deal in Chicago, and at that point in time, the football situation was then changing for me to be able to reassess and make the decision again. That's another factor. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't looking at how the 4th year played out and whatnot is I could have went somewhere else that I felt at that point in time was a better situation for my football career. Yes, the bread as well, but for me to be able to dictate those times, because I mean, years in the NFL are so valuable.
Yeah.
Are so valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like 1 year can change so much from performance to injury to it's so many different factors. So, NFL years is like dog years. You can't just be like, well, that's 1 year and just do it again. It's like it's so much that can happen in one season that changes everything to be able to say, okay, let me
coach, new scheme, all that.
everything to be able to say, you know what, I played my contract out here. I think that this situation is better in another place for me then to go play and be able to, do what I need to do. And that's what I think is more so the importance of it. Because you structure a contract strategically for your best interest of financially and your career.
Right.
It's not just one-sided, and when you have situations like that, man, it's tough. Like I said before, Dak, he broke his ankle on his franchise tag. I feel like it's other situations where guys have gotten hurt in those situations when you sign a 1-year deal when you could have had a multi-year of guarantees. I mean, it ended up playing out all right, but at the end of the day, that's why I'm so opposed to it.
Do you think they'll ever get away from that?
No.
Never.
Unfortunately. And I say that because, I mean, unless they just had somebody come in from the NFLPA. But those things are, I feel like, so kind of set in stone as far as, but the negotiations when it comes to the new CBAs and stuff like that, like, don't even get me started on that.
Right.
It don't even.
That's about the last thing that they're ever giving up.
Yeah.
Is the
Well,
franchise tag?
Yeah, they're not giving that back.
And you're saying from the owners
Yeah.
owner side.
Well, think about
Just
they also-
it would take way too much. Way too much.
And then think about it, like in 2011, that was after the lockout,
Yeah.
whatever. That's when they added the 5th-year option, which is kind of like a mini. So you could play 4 years, 5th-year option, then franchise, then
Franchise
again. So then that's like,
Can they franchise you again?
Could they do it 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's astronomical. I think it's like 144% of.
But it is possible.
It's possible.
I mean, the
It's
only one
not
that was
impossible.
close was Kirk Cousins. I mean, when he got his 2, him talk about happy. This man, he was happy to do it.
Well,
Again, quarterback
Exactly.
and still. And
I think when it comes to quarterbacks, I think the overall circumstance and situation, because again, I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen a quarterback who's a pocket quarterback tear their ACL in Tom Brady, or you know what I'm saying, tear their Achilles, and it's not detrimental
right.
to their career.
Yes,
You know, when you look at a skill position, totally different.
that's what I'm saying.
Totally different.
And
But
the biggest thing about the tag, I was going to tell you, it's what it does. It's not just the individual tag in that individual situation. It's what it does to the market.
Exactly.
Because the more people you keep it suppressed,
Yeah.
the money stays down.
very similar.
Because that's why, and that's also why they put because you said the 5th-year option, but they also brought the money way down. Like the year Cam was drafted, the year prior we had
Bonus baby, that's what they call it.
I want to say Sue got
No, it wasn't. It was
Bradford was 1,
and
Sue
Sue
got
was
more.
2.
Sue ended up getting actually more, I think, guaranteed.
Sue got like 50,
50
Bradford
million?
like 60.
Guaranteed.
Yeah,
Whereas Cam, I think, got like 25.
25. Yeah, because I got.
And-
1 year.
and-
You were that draft?
Yeah,
You were Cam's draft?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were when did you go?
19.
Yeah.
I got.
I mean, your money would have been about
Yeah.
the same,
yeah.
which is
But-
actually interesting.
But you spoke to the market and how that suppresses the market. Because imagine you're George Pickens and you want however you want, and it's a receiver that goes top 2, top
Yeah.
3 in the draft,
Yep.
and now he's getting 50 million guaranteed, and I'm a vet and I performed.
At this point, that receiver will be getting closer to 70 million.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, in the sense of you have players getting money coming in, to whereas the people who actually perform can use even that as as a point to now where it's like the guys coming in, it just suppresses the market.
Whereas they tricked us, tried to trick us into thinking that we need to get this money to the vets.
Right.
So, because that same scenario, you say, well, if Sammy Watkins is making X, then this is my floor. Theoretically, they say, well, no, okay, so we're gonna make Sammy make less so that you guys can get more. But the truth is, you want Sammy to make more because now I can demand that more. You know,
This in the same way, and to kind of give a parallel, like the NBA. NBA contracts go up so quickly because they best players hit free agency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said before, Jamar Chase didn't hit free agency.
Right.
George Pickens is not hitting free agency.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jingba is probably not going to hit free agency.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack, for the first time last year in his entire career, hit free agency.
Oh yeah. So,
And that was year 11. Was the first time in his entire career that he hit free agency. You know, and I say that because imagine the market or a world in which quarterbacks are hitting free agencies. You know what I'm saying? Receivers are hitting free agency. The best pass rusher is hitting free agency. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Khalil Mack when he left Oakland, because they were the Oakland Raiders at that time. Imagine when he left there, if he had all 32 teams that he could negotiate, a 24, 25-year-old Khalil Mack.
if you really want to talk about the tag, you can talk about the history of it because it actually started as quarterbacks only. That's how they even brought the tag into play. So the true reality is you could tell if you're going to tag me and pay me the quarterback number because that's what it actually was there for. They created it so that like a Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers couldn't just he didn't have the franchise totally at his disposal when it came to the money. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. Give me 150 million or I'm leaving. No, so they all agreed to mutually put the tag in. And then out of nowhere, I don't know who the first non-quarterback ever was tagged, but I think it was a running back. And all of a sudden, then they created Now it's by position. So it's totally different. That's It's like if I'm a franchise player, then pay me the quarterback number.
Yeah.
And then we have no problem with it. If I'm a corner, you're gonna pay me 50? Cool, I'm good. You know? That's the biggest thing. Which most people don't know.
Right.
And you said you don't think it's any way to be able to.
To get it out,
Yep.
I mean, there's always a way. It would just take a level of solidarity within the players association and the players that we haven't seen yet. You know, I mean, considering last CBA, half the players didn't even vote.
It says the first non-quarterback tag. You said,
Just saying.
No, he right though. He
Yeah,
right.
So
The first non-QB tag was Wally Williams,
is he a running back?
offensive lineman.
Oh,
Offensive.
what year was that?
98. That's what it says here. That
It probably
that
you're
could be
probably
wrong.
Right.
That
You're
could-
probably right. I don't. That was a long time ago, man.
1998.
Dang. Because if you had to give,
DeMarcus Lawrence was the first player to be franchise tagged twice.
really,
Yep.
I mean, but the magnitude of what that actually says about the value of that dude is insane. If you really think about it,
Wow.
what like, you willing to franchise tag me twice and pay me this inflated number twice, but we just can't get a long term deal.
Exactly.
Like-
You know, and I say that because in certain situations, when you look back after 2 years, like a Kirk Cousins situation, you're like, wow, that was great. He got franchise tagged twice and then got paid. But it's like, again, you also live in a world where, look at Le'Veon Bell's situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially for a running back. Because now a year for a running back
Oh my
is
gosh.
super pivotal.
Yeah.
You know, so Le'Veon Bell came off of years where he had
Oh my
1,000 yards rushing and receiving. And to then get a franchise tag, you know what I'm saying? Now, shoot, if you
And
franchise
I
tag,
tag him as a running back.
yeah, you tag him as a running back. And we know how running back years are, you know. So I mean, for him, he sat out a whole year of football.
He had 1,000 in both that year going into his.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man.
And which is what and his whole argument was that he wanted to be paid because the negotiation was stalling because he wanted to be paid
Like
on
a playmaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now they pay him like playmakers, you know what I'm saying? Run CMC. You know, you see a lot of, but again, certain
Has he ever
players,
spoken about that?
a little bit, not a
How
lot.
do you guys all feel about that? Like the fact that he missed a year.
I mean, I think it sucks.
Yeah,
I think
you
for
should.
him,
Think about it, yeah. Like you said, running back years are pivotal. But again, do what Terry McLaurin did.
but that wasn't a theme like that.
And what you should have
You know what
thought
I'm
of it. I mean, you don't just sit out and miss out on bread.
Yeah.
Like you have to find a way. Okay, how can I still get this guaranteed money, but not put my body at risk? Okay, it's my bag.
Listen, and some people have to
Right.
crawl. Some people have to crawl for some people to walk. You know, that's how the
That
game
is
goes. You know, some people have
Yeah.
to crawl for some people to walk.
But you
You
do
know,
gotta
so-
you gotta respect him for doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like we all hurt that he missed that bread.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see him miss that much bread.
But again, I mean, but like I said before, but you had that situation, but now you have the people who look at that and say, okay, now how do we not do that?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Then you get the hold-ins, you know,
Yeah.
and even from that, then you get running backs who are now saying, I mean, he kind of right, you know, he rushed for 1,000, caught for 1,000. So now when you have the running backs who are like, nah, I need to be paid more than just a running back.
Yeah. Which Saquon I feel like is
Run CMC is another
Yeah.
one. You know, so I mean, but that's just kind of how the league goes. You know what I mean? Shoot, I mean, look at now. I mean, guys is making you get receivers, they making 40 million. You know, I mean, just what? That was 6 years ago when I was tagged.
Yeah.
Then the tag was
2026.
tag was 18 million. It's damn near 28 now.
It goes up fast.
It goes up fast.
The other thing that Leif did do to help, I think, the players is see now because the tag is really a placeholder too. Like you were saying earlier, like can you still because there's a date in which you have to still negotiate.
Yeah.
I mean, as an agent or as a player, you could just tell the team, look, I ain't playing for that tag. Like y'all can tag me if you want to, and I'll sign it, but I ain't gonna play. Now it's up to them whether or not they're gonna believe you gonna play or not.
Right.
You know, or if your back gonna hurt, or if your hamstrings gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You do have that leverage. And so it's like, I know Lade and then Darrell Revis' uncle, can't remember his name off the top of my head. He missed the whole season too, which was like, what's his name? I can't think of because y'all remember Reeve almost was gonna miss the season.
Yep.
And
He was
so
doing some dumb 1-year deals that was like
and it's just tough, man, because obviously no player don't want to miss no season. But I think when you think about what Le'Veon did is he showed these teams and showed people that like some players might be willing to, and it's like now you have to look at your roster and decide like, all right, do y'all want to potentially put, maybe they come more serious.
Exactly, and that's why I say, man, it's like it's tough, but it's like shout out to Le'Veon Bell because he did kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's like when you have situations like that, they're pivotal because players, agents, everybody's involved is locked in to see the ramifications and the butterfly effect of that situation. I'm saying, okay, let's create a play in. You know what I'm saying? And now you got the next person who may be franchise tag might be like, you see what Le'Veon Bell did? I'll do the same thing. I don't care. I got bread.
And then pressure's on you. Don't start losing, and then the quarterback don't like mess up his performance.
What kind of season did they have?
This is Steelers. I mean,
The Steelers that year.
I mean, obviously Tomlin always has plus.
It was a solid season, but it also wasn't the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you had Big Ben, AB, and Le'Veon, like, I mean, I played against that team.
Yeah.
And they were nice. When I say nice, bro, they was video game nice.
I don't think they won no more Super Bowls.
No.
And I mean, you look at it like,
I mean, and I listen, respectful with them too. We smacked that team in Jacksonville.
yeah, did.
Yeah, we smacked.
You got to think that if they could have got something done, I don't know. I don't even remember the numbers. I want to say his tag was like, was it 12, 13 million or something?
Yeah, his tag was around like between 10 to 12.
They were probably asking for
14. I want to think.
No.
I think he went like 13 or 14.
So they were only a couple $1 million apart.
That's what I believe.
Well, let's just say he got a deal done. It's like that team probably would have gone on to be a lot better for the next 3 to 5 years.
For sure. And that's what I say when it's the ramifications, because now that team isn't better. You know what I'm saying? Le'Veon Bell then goes to the Jets.
Yeah.
You know, he goes to the Jets to get it. But I say that because he had to hold out to then go to the Jets. If he was a free agent, he might have went to the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? But when you factor in a whole year on what could have happened in the same token that he could have went to a team like the Chiefs, that offseason, the Chiefs may have drafted a running back. That now they aren't in need of a running back. He can't go to the Chiefs now. It's a year later. The teams that can get him is the Jets. And now he goes to the Jets. Adam Gase, we know how that whole situation went down. But it's like when you look at all those things, it's like, damn, he might have just hit free agency and went to the Dallas Cowboys or something. You know what I'm saying? And they might have had a great plan for him at that particular time. He would have had a few teams rather than now I'm coming off a year where I sat out the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the focal point, because I've sat out the season. Now the real focal point is I have to get the bread now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like rather than there could have been a gray area where, I mean, yeah, the price for the Steelers may have been 14, but he might have took 12 and a half from Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he at least would have had the opportunity to let the market talk to him.
Exactly.
Let the market dictate.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then you factor in, he might have went on to Dallas. They could have won a Super Bowl.
Right.
You feel me? And then he would have made money. It's so many different things
100%.
that can happen rather than you having to sit out for a whole season. But that's my gripe to the franchise.
Deep rabbit hole.
Yeah. I mean,
You hit all layers of it.
Yeah,
That was a great breakdown.
It is because it is a crazy rabbit hole. You know, from suppressing the market, from overall suppressing guys' career. You know, I mean, I look at myself. You know, I came off of back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons where I was getting 150 targets. I get franchise tag. I got the ball I got 60 targets.
It's the most. There's no other sport in which they have that. It's the most. I always joke around, not even joke, seriously. It is like the most poison pill in any of all sports.
Yeah, that's what he calls it, the poison pill.
That's what it is. It's a poison pill. There's no other sport. Soccer, baseball, basketball. WNBA ain't even got no franchise tag. Nobody has one but us, which is, you know, if I was a player, I'd be concerned too. I want to know how this happened.
So
how does that happen?
So
we have the best product, but the only team with the poison are the only
best
league
product, the most
with the poison
profitable
pill.
product. But my thing is, why don't you think? And you're an NFLPA guy.
Why do you say I'm an NFLPA guy? You're like B2. What do you be?
No, but weren't you like on a board?
I was a rep.
That's what I'm saying. I've never been a rep.
Let's talk about. I was gonna hear y'all talking about that. That's interesting.
What I was gonna say is, why do you think when the owners, when they come to times and situations like, I remember in the renegotiating of the CBA, the non-negotiable for them was the 17th game. That was a non-negotiable.
Bread. And now they want to do 8. They're going to get to 18.
But there was a threshold or a trigger, if I believe correctly, of if they hit certain numbers in the TV deals and stuff, that automatically kind of triggers it being an 18 game after, I want to say, I forget how many years in the CBA, that would trigger in for them to be able to have an 18th game. But my thing is, why don't you think the NFLPA has their non-negotiables as well? Now I'm curious to hear your
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I have never sat in those
I would
meetings
say
like
I
that.
would say we did have non-negotiables, but I think at the end of the day, I mean, because I want to say respectfully, but I mean, I feel like I don't want to say the NFLPA bows down, but I think it's like, all right, we know how powerful like the owners and stuff are. The NFL is. So I mean, to be honest, I mean the NFL could really, unless I will say this, unless players are ready to be like, I mean, just to lock out, like unless players are ready to be like, you know what, we're not playing, we're not taking anymore. I mean, they can really do whatever they want. And the reason why, and that's why when you compare our sport to other sports, it's like you got to get plus 50 plus guys from
First
each team all on the same goal, same mindset. But when you start locking out, dudes need bread. It's like, hey, I don't care, F all that. Like I overspent this. No. I have a budget, I have a lifestyle I need to keep up with. Sorry. I'm gonna play for whatever and stuff like that. And so and I don't think we'll ever get there.
And I mean,
And
I even felt, sorry to cut you up, I even felt some kind of way when they made the pay go from 18 weeks to 36.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't experience that. I mean,
Yeah.
Tennessee was already doing that.
Guys were cheering, jumping up and down, cheering.
Yeah, why?
So how
I just
was
don't
that
know.
pay period? Because I was on.
It was every week, every Wednesday, every Wednesday. You would see an envelope.
It was
That's what they
everything
did.
checks.
Tuesday was direct deposit.
Hey, listen, you walk into that locker room after practice, you're gonna see that white envelope on your
Oh
seat.
my gosh!
It basically was just you got paid during the season, but your check was twice as big as what you were used to seeing. Because yours extended out
Twice.
So my thing,
Yeah.
my thing.
Literally.
Why did they change it?
So because dudes were worried about dudes were spending so much and dudes needed money to
had the
get,
money
to
gun.
get in the off season, so they weren't spending all the money. But the thing with that is now the NFL is holding your money, growing interest
Yes.
on that money versus you have it in your account
And you
doing whatever
growing
you
your
want to.
own interest
And
on
then-
the money.
And so, for example, God forbid this happens, but then say you're someone's like, for example, the Dallas Cowboys dude who he passed away during the season, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens to his bread? You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting it, like he's gonna get some of it in the offseason, but I know he has a beneficiary, but it's still muddy. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he may or may. It's a great question.
Yeah.
That's what
Because
you want.
It might be in the contract that they don't have to pay out the
Yeah.
this year.
And so you always want all your money and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I mean, nobody knows what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like and I say that because you can manage budget and do
Yeah.
everything with your money how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you do want to spend with 36 weeks or whatever, guys have financial advisors and stuff. Have him break it down and give you your bread
Some
over
guys don't
36
have
weeks.
financial advisors.
For me personally, if I could have got my bread when I signed the contract, give me my shit right now.
Yeah.
All my shit right
Yeah.
now, today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have loved it to whereas if I signed on the dotted line when I signed with Chicago, 3 years, 42, give me my shit, all my 42 right now, today, as soon as I sign.
Hey, I don't know if you guys watched it, but did either of you guys see the Netflix thing about the Montreal Expos?
No.
No, I
No.
haven't seen that.
You didn't see it? Well, and I don't even remember this, so y'all are younger than me, you probably don't. They missed a whole season in baseball in 2003.
Oh yes,
Did y'all know that?
yeah,
No, I didn't.
100%. Yes, it
It was a lot, but that's
That's
the whole
what-
season.
And guess what? Look what happened.
And they got everything that they wanted.
Yes.
But the Expo, do you remember the team?
Yeah, I
the
do.
Expos, they used to be a team.
Yeah.
It was the
They had like a weird logo.
they're now the Washington baseball, or what is they called? Washington Nationals. That's what they are. First of all, that documentary was dope. They had we talk a lot about the business of it, but I mean, even me, when I saw them, damn, they missed the whole season.
And that's what it takes.
They canceled an entire season of baseball, which, to his point, that's what it would take.
I mean, and
It would be terrible for the fans. It would suck for the fans.
but
to
the same
miss the
with the NBA. They had the year where they played 66 games.
Yeah,
and they started around Christmas.
that's different than a whole season.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is the leverage grew as that time grew.
Yeah.
Those players held out long enough to be able to get what they wanted.
Mhm.
Granted, it was a shortened season. It was missed games. Paychecks wasn't paid out. But ultimately, look at the NBA now. They're making them dudes are signing 5 years, $300 million.
The only way you can do it is if you had the play, like you have to have players who were wealthy, who cared enough to create some kind of plan where y'all are putting bread into a fund, because it would hurt the owners more to miss the games than the players.
100%. Listen, and you need the top guys like LeBron, D Wade, Chris Paul. Those are the top guys who are like who's going to say something, who's going to put out a plan, and hey, everyone follows suit. There was a time though when I was in NFLPA meetings, I don't know who came up with this plan, but shout out to whoever came up with this plan. They're like, hey, you know what? Everyone on Super Bowl day, everyone act like go to practice, whatever. Don't play the Super Bowl until we get it
That would have been crazy.
We're not going force their hand. Like you have to do extreme stuff.
I mean, because then at the end of the day, that boils it down. Now you're not talking about 50 plus players on every team.
Yeah.
You're talking about a significant thing with
100%.
53 players on 2 teams. So
think
now
about what that's going to do to the networks. They're going to be mad. Like you got to put this product.
What happened to that plan?
I mean, and at the end of the day, that would be the time to do it because you didn't already, you know what I'm saying, your salary.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
well, now,
already paid.
but see, now it's different because now they hold half your salary. You know
You
what I'm saying?
got
So
too
for
many
some guys,
players. Too many players.
you might not get the second half of the salary, but and also since we talked about free agency, shout out to our documentary Free Agency on Roku. Go check it out. It's a 3-part series featuring Evan Ingram, Darius Slayton, Olamide Zaccheaus, Jacoby Meyer, and Juwan Freeman. Go check that out. Streaming now. But with that would be because now you narrow it down. There's not so many players. It's now focused to 100 or 2 teams. I mean, hey, you might be on.
I never heard that one. That's a
Yeah,
I like that.
You might gotta, you know,
It forces
you got your polo on and whatnot. You might gotta run for the PA.
We need a president.
I'll vote for you, G. I mean, I don't even know if I got to vote.
Would you
now.
do it?
I'll be an advocate.
Would you consider doing it?
Not PA president. Nah.
Why
not?
It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not gonna say it.
No.
I'll say it off camera.
Come on,
I'm
brother.
gonna say it off camera. But yeah.
I think. Listen.
It's your show.
I think with the people that you're connected with,
Yeah.
you being in the league, I think you might be on to something, man.
I think you'd be a good person.
Me too.
We just
look
need somebody
the part.
we can support that actually knows it.
He's calling me Uncle Tom.
I'm not calling you Uncle Tom, bro. I said you looked the part, bro.
Alright.
This man's silly.
Hey, vote Prince Amukamara, man. NFLPA president.
Yes, sir.
Let me stop before I make somebody mad for real. But I appreciate, we're going to wrap it up here, man. I appreciate you pulling up for us, man.
Appreciate you having me, brother.
NFL Combine weekend. Like I said before, today is Saturday. The receivers work out today. I'll be locked in and tuned in. We'll talk and chop it up next week to see who some of the best performers were from this week's Combine. And also, the next time we'll shoot, it'll be a little bit more movement when it comes to free agency. Free agency opens up March 11th. It's going to be a lot of bread being thrown around. The salary cap has went up, I believe, $22 million since last season, eclipsing $300 million, I believe, that teams have to spend this year for their team salary cap. So it'll be a lot of money being spread. Even one birdie told me it's no team cap strap this year when it comes to free agency. They say everybody got money. So teams, bring out y'all money guns and break the bank for these free agents. I'll be locked in. I'll be tuned in. Until next time, this is the press release.
The press release.